There's something about AI in the news that's bothering me. Now, I want you to know that artificial intelligence, search volume, this is key. More people are interested in this now than ever. Looking at Google plugin, keywords everywhere, we saw a pretty consistent 1 million approximate searches per month for artificial intelligence. August to September of 2024, that jumped from 1 million to 2,240,000 approximately searches in 1 month for artificial intelligence. Now, what exactly is bothering me here? Well, let's look at what is in the news. What is in the news recently about AI is all the shenanigans at OpenAI with people leaving Sam Altman left and right. There's the Nobel Prize in physics for working on machine learning from the godfather of AI guy. There's this stock is outperforming and here's whether or not you should buy. Here's a school that's using AI in the classroom. Here's ways that artificial intelligence is being used in human resources or in medicine in this particular and unique application. What's missing? But what's not missing is the fun announcement we just saw from Elon Musk with the robo-car and the robo-taxi. He calls it We Robot, right? It's a sort of Art Deco, Neo-Art Deco, maybe? Art Deco futurism. Pretty dang neat. From, I think that was the October 10th live announcement that was live streamed on X. That was pretty fun. That's being written about as well. But again, I ask, what's not? Let's answer that question orthogonally. What's not being talked about? Incentive structures. If there is, hypothetically, an anti-anxiety drug that's about to be on the market, is the pharmaceutical manufacturer incentivized or disincentivized to let it be known that a reported use of lemon balm extract oil that you can get at a health food store, same with chamomile extract, do they want it known that those are available for a very low price? Do the news organizations who rely on pharmaceutical manufacturing advertisements, do they want it known that lemon balm and chamomile are available? Do they want it known that strength training and weightlifting is reported as being more effective than a therapy session, 60-minute therapy session for men? Do they want it known that hiking, strenuous hiking, for 2 or more hours in a group of 3 or more people for feelings of loneliness, anxiety, depression, all of the above, and even chronic stress? Do they want it being known that hiking outside with some friends, or even people that are simply there, present, maybe you have something in mind, maybe it's just like a meetup group, for example, do they want it known that a reported benefit of that hiking experience is superior to the alternatives? Come on. You tell me. Where there's a lot of money to be made, it's going to be hard to find the truth. I'll say it again. Where there's a lot of money to be made, it's going to be hard to find the truth. One use of AI that I have found, but I have not seen talked about much, is one that leads me away from spending more money elsewhere. And that is generating fun stories for kids. Same as art. Instead of perhaps purchasing new books, new storybooks, purchasing movies, purchasing music, purchasing comic books, instead of purchasing with my little AI subscription We can create our own comics. We can create our own stories. We can have a fun storytelling session. That is a breadcrumb on our trail into the darkness where we will find the truth of the matter. What's not in the news around AI is where the powers that be are the most threatened. What's not in the news about AI is where the powers that be are the most threatened. I'm thinking of that story in The Hobbit, where the dragon Smaug, he had that one missing spot in his belly. Missing spot, rather, where there was a scale that was missing. And that's where Bard the Bowman, if you've seen the film, together with the son, took him out. That one spot, that one vulnerability. Smaug's vulnerability is not in the news. You have to do a little sense making to find it, where it is for you. If you work in data entry, your career is over, effectively. If you work in data analysis, calculations, even, your career is probably over. But because you are threatened as a W-2 worker, as a wage earner, as a laborer with not much power, that's not going to be in the news. The reason it's not going to be in the news is because if you figure that out first, you could begin to protect yourself at the expense of your employer, which threatens them. So you're not going to find that in the news. You're not going to find out how to AI proof your career, your skill set, or like Scott Adams says, your talent stack. You're not going to find that in the news. You're going to find bread and circuses about AI. Look at all the drama with Sam Altman. Look how much money was made in the stock market by buying the stock 5 years ago that you didn't buy. FOMO. You're not going to find truth. You're not going to find utility. You're not going to find help. It's sort of the inverse Kramer index, right? Where it's said that the Jim Cramer character, if there is a stock or an index that he recommends, get the heck out. And if he says don't buy it, then immediately buy it. And there's accounts and there's influencers who track this. The inverse Kramer index. And it looks at all the stocks that he says not to buy, or the ones that he says to buy, and then tracking it against them. And he has a great track record on being precisely wrong. Yes, it's quite a fun exercise. A few days ago, I drove past a restaurant, an Italian fast casual restaurant, and I was reminded that it was November of 2017 that I was last there, and that was an inflection point in my own life. I had recently read an article in The Guardian, which just released a hit piece about me and my co-author Jack Posobiec, by the way. It's quite fun. It reads like an advertisement for me. And their idea is that it's to read like an insult, an attack, and discrediting me. And it's literally marketing for me. I can say literally, and I can use that bad verb because it is, in fact, correct. It's as if I wrote it about myself. It's almost paid placement, but it's not. It's meant to be an attack. So it is hilarious to me. Back to the Italian fast casual dining in November 2017. I had just read an article in The Guardian, I believe, about GPT-2. You recall GPT-3 is ChatGPT that got 100 million users faster than anything ever, December 2022, when it was released. So that was 5 years later. This is now being recorded in October of 2024, almost 2 years into the AI revolution. I had recently read that article, GPT-2. The journalist who had gotten special access to test GPT-2 was flabbergasted, mortified, and excited. Flabbergasted, mortified, and excited by GPT-2. And the piece published an excerpt of the AI output. And I read it, and I realized journalism, ghostwriting, and every writing career has just been given a fatal diagnosis. Now, you can talk about copyright law, trademark law. Yeah, law always follows technological advancements. Laws change. They're forced to change. Right now, you cannot copyright something that AI wrote Right now. Right now. I read the article and I realized, having read the sample output that was pretty good in 2017 November, I was then reminded of a video by Demis Hassabis I had seen in 2015. You might remember him as the founder of DeepMind, which then Google purchased to engage in much training. That's ultimately where Bard and now Gemini hails from. Demis Hassabis taught machine learning and practiced machine learning, learned it, studied it, programmed it with video games. And it was in 2015 I saw a video of his in which he was talking at that time about how he had trained an AI to become the world's best video game players at these classic first-person games from the 1980s. And he said, here's play one of the AI, and it was not particularly skillful. It was messy trying to play the game. And then here's so many iterations later, which took approximately 24 hours of training, and it looked superhuman. I saw that video. Perfect execution. The thing taught itself. This artificial intelligence, machine learning, algorithms, blah, 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 blah. And then 2 years later, I saw the GPT-2 output, and I saw the future. And the story I'm sharing with you now, I shared to a group of business leaders in my region, November 2017, at the Italian fast casual restaurant. While it was raining outside, a cold Ohio November after all the leaves have fallen. But it's not quite winter yet, and so it's cold and wet, and it feels like it should be snow because it's cold enough, but it's not. That misery outside, that hopeful misery that you feel in late November of Ohio. Gray skies, cloudy days, warm hearts, good people. And it was there in the fast casual restaurant. I shared with those people the story I've just shared with you just now about the 2017 GPT-2 appearance that I witnessed and the Demis Hassabis video of video games becoming superhuman in 24 hours, 2015. I shared that with them. And I said, then and there, that AI is the future, writing by humans is not. And I said, if I'm going to make it as a ghostwriter long term, because at that point I'd only been ghostwriting for 6 years. I'm now 13 years in the business. This is over half the career ago. I said then and there, the only way I'm going to make it as a ghostwriter is if people want me as a ghostwriter. Not a ghostwriter, but they want me because of who I am. They want me as their ghostwriter. They want me as their co-author, uniquely me. They don't say, I want a ghostwriter. They say, I want Joshua Lisec to write my book with me. And the only way to get that was to become famous. As of the time of this recording, I'm the most Googled ghostwriter in the world. I'm got co-author credit for the #1 best-selling book in the United States of 2024, summer, during the most consequential week of American political history, between the assassination attempt, the first one of Donald J. Trump, and the palace coup of Joe Biden, 9 calendar days later. Just have a hit piece on me in The Guardian that reads like an advertisement. This is what they do. There's no stopping. I've ghostwritten 95 books at this point. I had 2 books this year on the New York Times bestseller list that had my name on them. Co-authored, of course. So how am I doing? How are you doing? The threat to AI to you personally is not going to be in the news. You have to look for it. You have to find it. You have to position yourself. I don't know if you becoming the go-to person in your niche as a personality is the way, but it probably is. Find out how artificial intelligence is being used in your industry right now by people who are AI geeks to do what you do better than you can. And you'll probably learn it very quickly and probably realize you've got an expiration date on your career, unless it's your personality, your personal brand, your success uniquely as an achiever that makes the elite of your industry who are willing to pay more for a guaranteed human service, no AI involved. They look at you and they say, I want you uniquely, not I want an accountant or I want a lawyer. I want you as mine. That's the only chance you've got. And you're not going to see it in the news, but you're going to see it on Daily Persuasion with Joshua Lisec.